Hello, and welcome to another update video on XRP. Yeah, the XRP chart on the larger time frame, and I want to start here, remains kind of unchanged. The price has barely moved since yesterday, but we obviously had quite a nice rally into yesterday's swing high. The price tested here exactly the next resistance level we talked about in the last few days, the $3.3 level. So good test of resistance, but not broken yet. Why is this level so important? I mean, it's not a super important level. It's simply an additional resistance level we started to watch a few days ago after the breakout above the upper boundary line of our trend channel, of our corrective channel, you could say. So the breakout above the upper boundary line here was our signal that we might be on our way to $3.40. Yeah, so basically a rally from previous resistance and the breakout point to all-time high. And I mean, we are nearly there, okay? We're really not far away. And surely, we're not there yet. But honestly, looking at this on this chart, it doesn't really look like much of a distance to 340. And we're already in that resistance area. I mean, just because 340 is the all-time high doesn't mean that this is necessarily where resistance starts. It looks like here where we are now is where resistance already is starting. That is basically the last significant swing high before the all-time high. You can see that here. This is the swing high from the 2nd, I think it was the 2nd of March this year. And I mean, what you can see is we had an initial decline after this top in January, where the price, formed the new all-time high at 340. So we had a three-wave move down, which was the first leg down of this correction. And then we had a corrective bounce, quite a strong corrective bounce, you could say, labeled as wave B, so AB, and then another move down. So we have an ABC structure to the downside. But the price, that's the point. In this move to the upside, the price could not reclaim the previous swing high. The price could not reclaim the 340 level, could not break above it, instead got rejected here, and this is this B wave high, and this is exactly where we found resistance at the 78.6 retracement. Yeah, so we had an all-time high, sharp decline. Price could not form a higher high. So basically, since March, we've been below this level. And breaking back above that level would really be a shift. We already have a shift because the price broke above the upper boundary line of the trend channel that was down and above the May high, 12th of May high, which means we're already, kind of back in a local uptrend. So the market already shows us that we are back from a local downtrend and we're back in a local uptrend. So there is already a shift, okay? And we already started to watch for higher prices back in in April, right? Especially after we saw that 5-wave move up into the May highs, and then the pullback. Basically, we had this 1-2 setup here, which was clearly communicated. And from an Elliott wave point of view, these 1-2 setups typically set the stage for the next rally to the upside, which is then an internal third wave to the upside. Now, I shared with you over the last few days what the resistance levels are. I mean, they should be crystal clear. Talked about them just now again. By the way, there's an additional small level here around $3.17, which could be relevant. But yeah, overall, the rally could take us to 340 next. We just need to overcome the $3.3 level. Today, there's a bit of a pullback, but nothing major. At least support levels are all still holding, right? What I'm watching is this as a small range, maybe. I mean, maybe we're now going to bounce a little bit here between $2.67 and $3.03. See it as a bit of a range. There was a previous breakout point here. That was the May high, and we might now see this as support. So it's something to watch for. And the price could continue to grind higher, of course. $3.40, as I say, is next resistance. But then also, if we get into all-time high territory, the very first level I'm going to watch is the $3.84 level. And this is the 138% Fibonacci extension of the initial 1-2 setup. So why is this important? It's important because this is normally the first ideal target for a third wave. So we might very well get there. Okay, we might very well get there. Definitely something to watch. Can always push higher, but this would be the first ideal target for a third wave, and therefore also the first key level once we get into all-time high territory. So yeah, there is a lot to watch out for as we go higher, as we grind higher, and definitely interesting. So the idea is currently that we could be in this uptrend in a third wave as part of a larger degree wave 5 there. And eventually this wave 5 that you see here on the chart, I mean, you see the roadmap already to those higher prices, yeah. Important is to recognize that this move to the upside could really take us to round about $5. Round about $5. I mean, certainly might go higher, but I don't want to promise anything. I think it's worth being cautious. Yeah, that's something we should be in this current environment, because remember, Bitcoin is likely in the late stages of this overall uptrend that started in 2022 already. So with Bitcoin being in the late stages of the overall uptrend, I think it's worth be cautious, and it's worth to be aware of the risk that at any point those structures can break. Yeah, but still, though, as long as support levels are holding, we follow the plan, we follow the roadmap, we have a plan, and so far it's being followed. Now, looking at the smaller time frame here, again, you can see the nice 5-wave move up that we had from the April low, yeah, and then a corrective pullback into support. There is still a risk that this is a wave 1 and then an A, B, C structure. So maybe a flat correction in wave 2 that can happen. It is just a B wave. If we break support now at $2.46, that could be an increased risk or potential. And then we can go from there. But actually, at the moment, I'm tracking direct upside as long as we're holding above this Fibonacci support area, which I leave unchanged for now for various reasons. It's between $2.46 and $2.76. There's not much I can add to yesterday's analysis, but remember that we are tracking this here as a potential diagonal structure, right? So hold on. This might change though, but I'm tracking this as diagonal for now. So we had a 3-wave move in wave 1, 3-wave move in wave 2, and then 3-wave move in ABC wave 3. And then within that, it is even possible that this move up is an ending diagonal. 1, 2, A, B, C in wave 3, 4, so it would be an A, B, C in 5 as well. I haven't labeled specifically the internal structure of the wave 5, but it should be clear that we're likely in a 5th wave now, especially as long as we are holding above $2.66. I mean, I'm not confident about this nano structure. Is this really another ABC structure? It does work for now, this overall wave count, but I have to say, if this really is an ending diagonal, the 3rd wave is super extended for a diagonal, and it could also be an impulse, you know. I'm not going to rule that out, but for now, I'm tracking higher prices, especially as long as the weekend low is holding. And from here, the price needs to break above the $3.03 level, and then take the price to around about $3.40 next. So yeah, that's the update on XRP. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, I invite you to follow us on X for additional updates. You can find many, many additional updates here, additional videos as well. You can find tips about Elliott Wave, and you can ask questions as well. I'll be there after this video, so maybe you'll join us there on X. I've posted a link in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.